Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's video. Top 1 today, we're traveling to the United States to take a closer look at a very special piece of American history. The 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. This little coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but for collectors, it holds a world of intrigue and value. Stick around until the very end, because we'll reveal just how much this quarter could be worth today. And trust me, it's jaw-dropping. The 2001 Kentucky State Quarter is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was created to celebrate each state's unique history, culture, and symbols. Kentucky, the bluegrass state, was honored in 2001 with a coin that quickly became a favorite among collectors. On the reverse side, the coin proudly features a thoroughbred racehorse crossing the finish line, a nod to Kentucky's world-renowned horse racing tradition. Surrounding this iconic horse are the words Kentucky and 1792, marking the year Kentucky became the 15th state of the United States. But it's not just the beautiful design that makes this coin special. What makes the 2001 Kentucky Quarter so intriguing is its rarity, especially in pristine condition. Millions of these quarters were minted, yet very few have survived without wear and tear. Coins that have been circulated often show scratches, nicks, or faded details, which can dramatically lower their value. Finding one in uncirculated condition, a coin that looks almost like it just left the mint, is a collector's dream. Now, here's where things get really interesting for die-hard coin collectors. Some 2001 Kentucky State Quarters have unusual minting errors that can make them extremely rare and highly valuable. These errors might include double strikes, where the design is stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a ghostly shadow effect. Others might have off-center strikes, where the design isn't perfectly aligned on the coin, or even missing details, like the date or lettering being faint or absent. Each of these anomalies is like a fingerprint, unique and one-of-a-kind. Collectors are drawn to these error coins not only because they are rare, but because they tell a story of the minting process and the history behind the coin. Imagine owning a piece of history that was never supposed to look exactly the way it does. That sense of uniqueness is what makes the Kentucky State Quarter from 2001 so exciting and highly sought after. If you happen to find one of these quarters in perfect, uncirculated condition, or even better, with a significant minting error, you could be holding a coin worth an incredible $87,000. Yes, you heard that right. $87,000 for a single 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. It's amazing to think that something so small, something most of us carry in our pockets every day, could hold such extraordinary value. So, if you're sifting through old coin collections, checking jars of loose change, or just happen to come across a Kentucky State Quarter from 2001, make sure to examine it closely. Look for pristine surfaces, sharp details, and any unusual characteristics that could indicate a minting error. One coin could turn out to be the hidden gem you've been dreaming of. That's it for today's deep dive into the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. Top 2, we're turning our attention to a very special piece of American history, the Maryland State Quarter from the year 2000. While it may look like an ordinary coin at first glance, this quarter holds secrets that can make any collector's heart race. Stay tuned until the very end, because the value of this coin might just surprise you. The Maryland 2000 State Quarter was part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program was designed to honor each state's unique history, culture, and symbols, turning everyday coins into miniature works of art. On the reverse side of the Maryland Quarter, you'll see a depiction of the state's proud history. The Maryland State House, a sailboat, and the Calvert and Crossland family shields from the state's coat of arms. These images beautifully capture Maryland's rich heritage, from its political significance to its maritime traditions. But beyond its design, what truly makes this quarter fascinating to collectors is its rarity in certain conditions. Millions of Maryland quarters were minted in 2000, yet very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that were used in everyday transactions often show scratches, fading, or worn details. A coin that looks as though it just left the mint is a rare gem and immediately draws the attention of serious collectors. Now, let's talk about something that makes this coin even more extraordinary: minting errors. Some Maryland 2000 quarters exhibit unique characteristics that were never intended by the U.S. Mint. You might come across coins with double strikes, where the images appear slightly duplicated, or off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned. In rare cases, some quarters even have missing letters or numbers, or irregularities in the shields and statehouse engraving. Each of these errors transforms an ordinary quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible sought after by coin lovers around the world. Collectors love these error coins because they are a tangible piece of history, proof that even in something as precise as coin minting, surprises can happen. A Maryland state quarter from 2000 that shows any of these anomalies becomes significantly more valuable, and finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition with an error is the ultimate prize. And here's the exciting part. If you happen to find a 2000 Maryland state quarter in flawless condition, especially one with a notable minting error, it could be worth an astonishing $84,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $84,000 for a single Maryland quarter. It's incredible to think that a small coin, something most of us take for granted in our daily lives, could hold such an extraordinary value. So, if you're digging through old coin collections, checking jars of loose change, or even exploring coins you've had tucked away for years, take a close look at your Maryland 2000 quarters. Examine them carefully for sharp details, unblemished surfaces, and any unusual characteristics that might indicate a minting error. You could be holding a true treasure in your hands. Top 3, we're focusing on a fascinating piece from the United States, the Minnesota State Quarter from 2005. At first glance, it might look like a simple coin you could find in your pocket. But trust me, this little quarter has a story that every collector will want to hear. Stick around until the very end, because the value of this coin is truly astonishing. The Minnesota 2005 State Quarter is part of the renowned 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This program celebrated the history, culture, and unique identity of every state in the Union. On the reverse side of the Minnesota Quarter, you'll see a beautifully detailed design featuring two children fishing, surrounded by the state's lakes and natural scenery. The words "the North Star State" appear above, reminding us of Minnesota's enduring nickname, while Minnesota and 2005 are elegantly inscribed. The imagery captures the essence of Minnesota's love for nature, outdoor recreation, and its peaceful lakeside culture. But what really makes this coin captivating for collectors isn't just the design. It's the rarity and condition that makes certain Minnesota quarters so highly prized. Although millions of these quarters were minted, most of them were used in everyday transactions. Over time, circulation has left many coins with scratches, worn details, or tarnished surfaces. Finding a Minnesota 2005 quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly difficult, which makes it a treasure for collectors who value pristine coins. Now, here's where things get even more exciting: minting errors. Some 2005 Minnesota State quarters feature unusual anomalies that were never intended by the U.S. Mint. These can include double strikes, where the design appears twice in slightly different positions, creating a ghost-like effect. Other errors might show off-center strikes, missing details, or even anomalies in the lettering or the fishing scene. Each of these errors makes the coin a one-of-a-kind collectible, turning a common quarter into a rare gem. Collectors are drawn to these error coins because they represent a unique moment in history, a mistake that transformed an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. A Minnesota 2005 quarter with a significant minting error, or one preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition, becomes highly sought after and can command remarkable prices in the collector market. And here's the moment every collector has been waiting for. If you happen to find a 2005 Minnesota State quarter in perfect condition, especially one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an incredible $81,000. Yes, that's right, $81,000 for a single Minnesota quarter. It's incredible to think that a small coin, something most of us pass by every day, could hold such extraordinary value. So, If you're going through old collections, jars of loose change, or coins you've had tucked away for years, take a careful look at your Minnesota 2005 quarters. Examine them closely for sharp details, unblemished surfaces, and any unusual characteristics that could indicate a minting error. You could be holding a piece of history and a true treasure in your hands. That's all for today's deep dive into the Minnesota State Quarter from 2005. Top 4, we're diving into a true collector's gem, the Georgia State Quarter from 1999. At first glance, it may look like an everyday coin, but for collectors, this quarter holds a wealth of history, rarity, and value that is absolutely thrilling. Make sure you listen closely, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this coin is worth far more than most people realize. The Georgia 1999 State Quarter was the very first coin released in the United States' iconic 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This ambitious program celebrated the history, culture, and unique identity of all 50 states, turning ordinary coins into miniature pieces of art. On the reverse side of the Georgia Quarter, you'll find a depiction of the state's rich heritage, the state outline, a peach, and the oak branches, along with the inscriptions Georgia, 1999, and Wisdom, Justice, Moderation, the state motto. This design perfectly captures Georgia's history, agricultural legacy, and its proud southern roots. But what makes this coin so fascinating for collectors is not just the beautiful design. It's the rarity and condition that makes certain Georgia quarters so highly prized. Millions of these quarters were minted, yet the vast majority were used in everyday transactions. Over time, circulation leaves scratches, faded details, and signs of wear, making pristine, uncirculated coins extremely rare. A Georgia 1999 quarter in perfect condition is a true collector's treasure. Now, here's where things get even more exciting: minting errors. Some Georgia 1999 state quarters feature unique anomalies that were never intended by the U.S. Mint. These errors can include double strikes, where the coin's design appears twice in slightly different positions, creating a shadow effect. Others might be off-center strikes, missing letters, or irregularities in the peach and oak branch details. Each of these errors is unique, making the coin one of a kind and highly sought after by collectors. Collectors are particularly drawn to these error coins because they represent a tangible moment of history, proof that even in something as precise as coin minting, surprises can happen. A Georgia 1999 quarter that is both uncirculated and features a minting anomaly becomes significantly more valuable than its face value or standard collectible counterparts. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for. If you happen to find a 1999 Georgia State quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an astounding $79,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $79,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing to think that something so small, something we handle almost every day, could hold such extraordinary value. So, if you're going through old coin collections, jars of loose change, or coins you've had tucked away for years, take a careful look at your Georgia 1999 quarters. Examine them closely for sharp details, flawless surfaces, and any unusual characteristics that could indicate a minting error. One of these coins could turn out to be a true treasure, changing the way you look at ordinary quarters forever. Top 5, we're turning our spotlight to a truly remarkable piece, the 2016 Shawnee State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like a standard coin in your pocket, but for collectors, this quarter is a hidden gem with a story and value that could surprise you. Listen closely, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this coin has captured the attention of coin lovers everywhere. The Shawnee 2016 State Quarter is part of the United States Mint's America, the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This program was designed to honor national parks, forests, and historic sites across the country. On the reverse side of the Shawnee Quarter, you'll see a stunning depiction of the Shawnee National Forest, complete with a deer leaping gracefully in the foreground and dense trees stretching into the horizon. The design also includes the inscriptions Shawnee, Illinois, and 2016, showcasing the natural beauty of this treasured site in the land of Lincoln. While the design is beautiful, what truly excites collectors is the coin's rarity and condition. Millions of these quarters were minted, but most were circulated and used in everyday transactions. Over time, these coins developed scratches, worn details, and discoloration. Finding a Shawnee 2016 quarter in uncirculated condition, a coin that looks as if it just left the mint, is becoming increasingly rare, and that rarity makes it extremely appealing to serious collectors. Now, let's dive into the most exciting part for coin enthusiasts: minting errors. Some Shawnee 2016 state quarters have unique anomalies that make them highly sought after. These errors could include double strikes, where the design appears twice in slightly offset positions, or off-center strikes, where the images and lettering are misaligned. In rare cases, you might even find missing letters, faint details, or unusual markings in the deer or forest engraving. Each of these errors turns a normal coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Collectors are drawn to these error coins because they represent a fascinating moment in history, a glimpse into the minting process that went slightly off-script. A Shawnee quarter that is both uncirculated and features a significant minting error is a true prize, with value that far exceeds what you would expect for a regular circulation coin. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to find a 2016 Shawnee State quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, it could be worth an astonishing $77,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $77,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that something so small, something we handle every day, could hold such extraordinary value. So, if you're going through old coin collections, jars of loose change, or coins that have been tucked away for years, take a close look at your Shawnee 2016 quarters. Examine them carefully for flawless surfaces, sharp details, and any unusual characteristics that might indicate a minting error. One of these coins could be a hidden treasure that changes everything for you. That wraps up today's deep dive into the Shawnee State quarter from 2016. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue exploring rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on another incredible discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting. May your next find be the one that takes your collection to the next level.